Hello everybody and welcome to the channel, the SD channel, aka Spiritual Desires, for we are always spiritually led to our utmost desires. Thank you so much for joining the channel today. Thank you so much for tuning in for today's collective reading. That is what we do here on this channel. We do collective readings for all signs. So this is a safe space for every zodiac sign, okay? If you need a personal reading, I don't do them, but check the description box below because that is where my mentor's information is. She can help you with any situation that you could be experiencing in your life. So make sure to check out her website or her Instagram for more information, okay? As a precursor, I always give a disclaimer. This is a collective reading, of course, so you know it's for entertainment purposes only, and some things may or may not resonate with you, but keep what does and leave what doesn't. All right, with that being said, let's go ahead and get straight into your reading. This video, I think I'm just going to focus on love. So we're just going to do a love reading, a quick spread, just to see what's going on in your love life, what you may be feeling about someone, and what they may be feeling about you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. Thank you, Spirit, for joining us. Oh, hold on. I'm already messing up the cards. Okay, let's do that again. Thank you, Spirit, for joining us in today's reading. Thank you, Spirit, for joining us in today's reading. Thank you, Spirit, for joining us in today's love reading. What messages, love messages, do you have for the collective? Spirit, what love messages do you have for the collective today? Spirit, what love messages do you have for the collective? Love could have been stagnant in the past. That's kind of just something I'm feeling at the moment. And then here this card comes. So the first card you have out is unrequited love. Okay, let me read that for you. It says there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. Okay, unrequited love. All right, so again, like I said, love could have been stagnant in the past. You may have been dealing with someone who either doesn't know how to express their feelings, because that's what I'm getting more of. Someone not knowing how to express their feelings versus someone just not having feelings at all. And then here we go. The next card we have out is chemistry. Okay. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. What an opposite message. All right. So clearly, like I said, I feel like you're dealing with someone that does have feelings for you. They just don't know how to express that to you. And or collective, maybe it's you that have feelings for someone and you are finding it hard to open up and tell them how you really feel. Okay, so third card you have out here is forgiving and learning. Okay, it says as you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. Okay, and then at the bottom of the deck it has it is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. Okay, so let's break that down real quickly. Right, like I already said, someone, whether it's you or the person that you're dealing with, collective, expressing yourself emotionally has been very difficult, and so I feel as though if this is you, collective, because again on this channel we focus on your energy, so I'm always going to read the cards as if this is something you're doing, something you're experiencing, something you're going through. Okay, so if you, collective, are finding it very difficult to open up to someone and express yourself, I would say in order for that person to really understand how you truly feel, that's going to have to be a situation that you work through. Okay, because you can't expect the person to read your mind or just read your aura. You have to be able to express yourself emotionally in a heartfelt way and open up and express how you feel about someone, especially if you're wanting to reciprocate that energy in return, because that person then is not going to feel comfortable opening up themselves to you because they don't see your willingness to do it either. And especially if you're dealing with someone that has kind of given you examples of how they feel about you, they've maybe said certain things to show you how they feel, or maybe they were blunt in telling you, hey, I'm feeling you, hey, I would like for us to be this, that, and the third, whatever the case is. And then in return, you just kind of went silent, or you just maybe said okay, and you didn't really open up and express your true emotions for them to them, then it's going to cause that person to be a little bit more reluctant in opening themselves up to you, and then they'll start to pull back, and that could possibly create some issues down the line with you and your person, because the level of communication is just not at the right vibration. Okay, clearly you do have chemistry for this person, clearly you do have feelings for this person, because to be honest, you wouldn't feel so worried about opening up to this person if there weren't real feelings there. If you really just didn't like a person, or you didn't have any type of feelings for them, I imagine you would just say it, because someone hanging on to you that you don't like is annoying. So if it wasn't for the fact that you actually do have feelings for this person, I don't think you would find it so hard expressing yourself. So try to just break those walls down, okay? Try to just not be so rigid when it comes to reserving your emotions and reserving your feelings for this person, and just little by little start to show some type of expressions towards them and to them, to let them know that you truly do have feelings for them, you truly do like them, you truly do want to invest your time and energy into them. Okay, now with the forgiving and learning card, I think that's what it's about. It's all about you learning more than needing to forgive. Maybe you have to forgive yourself for wasting their time. Maybe you have to forgive yourself for certain things that you did say and do that gave off the impression that you didn't like them. You could have said some things that were foul. You could have just made them really feel less than. And so maybe you're needing to forgive yourself for the mistakes that you made in the relationship. But it's more about the learning part about it. Okay? Because now that you've recognized that you've made mistakes, now that you've recognized that you could have done things better, now that you recognize that you're needing to open up yourself more and put yourself out there, you can learn from the mistake that you made. You can learn from the stagnancy that you may have caused in this relationship. You could learn from all the things that you did wrong, so that you can now correct them and do things right moving forward. All right. And again, at the bottom of the deck, you have it is safe for you to love. And right underneath that, you have this could be the one. Okay, so it's not like you're investing your efforts into somebody that's not meant to be in your life. It's not like you're stepping outside of your comfort zone and doing something differently for nobody. You're doing it for the one that you're meant to be in this life with. Okay, it's telling you it's safe for you to love, it's safe for you to open up, it's safe for you to put yourself out there. Take that leap of faith in this connection, because this connection probably has the possibilities of being a long-standing life soulmate connection. Okay, the person that you're meant to spend the rest of your life with. So you don't want to let a person like that slip away, or end up with somebody else, all because you chose not to heal your throat chakra. You chose not to be honest. You chose not to just wear your heart on your sleeve for this person. Okay, granted, it's not like the universe is saying be that way towards everybody, but it's okay for you to be that way towards your person, your soulmate. Okay, so open up to expressing yourself in a loving manner, because that person needs you to do that in order for this connection to ever aspire to be something great. You're going to have to compromise, and compromise starts with good communication. All right, so just make sure that you're communicating your heartfelt feelings for this person to this person. All right. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, Spirit, what messages do you have for the collective? Spirit, what messages do you have for the collective? Okay, they want me to take it. Okay, so the first card you have out here is the Dragonfly. It says lighthearted and adapt, finding out and change, things coming to light and healing. All right. The dragonfly. Okay, so clearly you're looking at things from a higher perspective. Clearly you're starting again to see maybe the errors of your ways when it comes to how you communicate. You know, clearly you're starting to notice that holding back so much, being so reserved, being so reclusive with your feelings, is not getting you anywhere. It's not getting you the love that you desire. Okay, so again, I think you're learning that. I think you're ready to do better when it comes to your communication styles. And I think if there is, or if this is your person, collective, that's needing to open up to you, that's needing to be more vulnerable with you, I think they're going to come and finally tell you why they've been so, like, internal with their feelings versus expressing their feelings externally to you. Okay, I feel like they're going to give you the reason as to why they have been so drawn back from this connection and from opening up to you. And maybe once they reveal, you know, why they're so reluctant to expressing themselves, you'll understand. And understanding that is what will help the two of you move forward. Okay. Okay, you have a lot of cards that came out here, and I'm gonna take them. All right, so the first card you had that came out here was Clock. Okay, it says needing time, cycles, and takes time, time to heal, and progressing. All right. Next card you have out is Old School. Outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head. All right, so you could be overthinking something. Now the Old School card kind of wants to come out in reverse, but we'll take it upright. But I'm gonna read it as if you can see it from both ways, the reversal way as well as the upright way. All right, so the next card you have out here is Date. Okay, so collective, you could be going on a date or planning a date, but it says get back out there, meeting someone new, setting a date, and date online. All right, next card you have is Key on a Ring, and it says many options, unconventional, one night stand, string along. Next card we have is Cupid's Arrow. One of my favorite cards in this deck. It's so beautiful. It reads having faith, love is coming, surprise invitation, and struck by love. Last card. Finally, we have the Sword and Rose, which is pretty much the Ace of Swords when it comes to tarot. And it reads clarity and truth, revelations, honor and protection, determination. All right, so there's a lot of messages out here. Oh, let me not forget the bottom of the deck. Okay, bottom of the deck, you have death. All right, whatever it is, it's over. And it says the relationship is over. No second chances. Grow and transform. What's dead is dead. Okay. Hold on. That's a lot. I need to take a sip. Okay. Let's break this down. So with the Dragonfly card, which I went over this one already, it's just you learning lessons about yourself, seeing things from a higher perspective, a different perspective, and wanting to make the necessary changes to better yourself. Okay. Now it may take time to do that. With the Clock card, you know, changing overnight is just insane to think that someone can do that. So you may have to take your time when it comes to elevating yourself in this space, and that's okay. Take your time, because you know, patience makes perfect. in my opinion. Okay, patience makes perfect. So taking your time evolving is a good thing. That way, when it's time for you to have this conversation, when it's time for you to just make the changes that you know you need to make in this relationship, and you'll be ready to do so. You don't want to rush that, because you're just really rushing into something that's not going to be stable or built on solid grounding. Okay, you want to be the best version of yourself, before you try to come in and complete somebody else. All right, so take your time evolving, take your time getting yourself together, take your time with your thoughts when it comes to figuring out what you want to say and how you want to say it. Okay, all right, with the old school card, I'm more drawn to the outdated thinking part of the card. So again, if you know that your ways of communication have not worked in the past, it's just time to do something different. It's time to change that. It's time to try something new, and try to do things in a new way. Maybe the old school methods of communication are just not helping you thrive in this relationship. And all in all, that's really what you're wanting, is just for this relationship to grow in a beautiful way. Okay, all right, so back to the date card. Now, you could be planning a date, and or someone could be asking you to go out on a date, but I think maybe you have like a specific time frame in mind that you are wanting to reach out and reconcile with this person and talk to them. And I think you're wanting to maybe do it in a romantic way, so that way I guess it can break down their walls and they're not feeling so reserve themselves when it comes to having this conversation with you, because it could be a tense conversation. It could already have a little tension around this relationship. So you're wanting to just make things go smoothly, and you're wanting to kind of set the stage when it comes to the kind of like the aura of the night of the moment that the two of you meet up. And so you want it to feel comfortable, and I guess adding a little romance to that can definitely do that for the two of you. Now, with King on the Ring, this talks more about options. Let me read this one again. Many options, unconventional, one night stand, and string along. So I'm honestly more drawn to the unconventional card. I think you're just, again, trying to do things differently. You're trying to maybe get over a past way of how you show up for this person. Maybe that's what the date card is. Maybe you've never taken them on a date before. And again, this is for men and women. So to my guy collectives, maybe for this girl, you've never asked her out on a date, or you've never shown her that, you know, you can be romantic, you can be chivalrous, you can open up doors and do nice things for her. And I think if you've never shown her that side of you to your boo, she's gonna say, well, wow, this is out of nowhere. This is something I would have never expected from you. So to her, it's going to seem very unconventional, very out of the box. And I think that's what's going to even excite your person when it comes to relaxing with you, but also wanting to move forward and maybe get back to investing time and effort into this relationship. And especially with my favorite card right next to it, Cupid's arrow. I mean, I think you truly are wearing your heart on your sleeve this time around, collective. I think you truly are opening your heart up. You're opening yourself up, and you're willing to just be vulnerable in that love space. Maybe that's something that you have had a hard time with in the past, opening up your heart, which clearly we can tell that opening up your heart emotionally, it's not something that you're used to. It's not something that feels the most comfortable for you. But now you're really starting to look at love differently, and you're wanting to open yourself up to it. And I think you're starting to receive the love that you always wanted because you're giving it. And so that's very, very, very beautiful. And I think this relationship has the ability to truly thrive and blossom into something amazing with the two of you being so open and honest with each other. And of course, the last one that you have is the sword and the rose. And that just talks about things changing, things evolving, things being honest with one another, things being truthful between the two of you. There being clarity, there being just everything being on the up and up. And so nothing's being hidden, nothing's being glossed over in this relationship. Everything is being built on a strong foundation, on a truthful foundation. And so the two of you can move forward in this relationship knowing that you're building this relationship on something solid. Okay, so I think that's very beautiful. I think the two of you have a lot of respect and honor for one another, and I think that this relationship, the two of you will protect each other. You know, of course, the outside world is always going to try and tear down something beautiful, but I think that the way the two of you connect with one another, and like how the two of you are step in step with the way that you want this relationship to move forward, I think that it's going to be a very strong relationship for sure. All you got to do again is just open yourself up to the love, and that'll be it. Again, with the last card at the bottom of the deck being death, but then underneath that you have ascending, and then underneath that you have blowing a kiss, and then underneath that you have a healing heart, and then underneath that you have the wedding rings. Okay, so if you were worried about what this relationship can turn into, if you were worried about how this relationship can manifest here in the real world, baby, it can be something beautiful. This relationship will be God protected. Okay, this relationship is really relationship goals. Okay, hashtag relationship goals. Y'all don't have to talk about it, because y'all be about it. Again, and with the death card, I think that's just the end. This relationship is to to death do us part. That is what I'm getting with this card. This relationship is to death do us part. This is forever. In this lifetime, this relationship is to the two of you goes to heaven. To the two of you meet God. Okay? And I think that's how you're going to treat this relationship. You're going to treat this relationship like it's yours forever. And that is beautiful. That is a very beautiful reading, especially this is like the first love reading here on this channel. So to start off in the love department with those beautiful messages, that beautiful aura of where our collective twin flame, soulmate group of us, where we are here in this space at this time, I think we really are moving into a different dynamic when it comes to love. I think people's relationships they're going to start putting them first, and they're going to let any naysayers, let any haters, they're just going to get rid of them, and they're not going to let any opinion from anyone else determine or deter what this connection, what this soul connection has the ability to become. Okay, because it's beautiful. It's looking really, 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 really beautiful for the twin flames connections for sure. All right, well, y'all, I hope you enjoyed that reading. I did. If you did, make sure that you hit the like button. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and make sure that you share it with all your friends and all the other collectives out there, so that we can keep growing this channel and just thriving. Hello, that's going to be one of our favorite words over here. We are thriving here in this collective space. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed that again. Until next time, make sure that you are what? Staying safe, staying blessed, be good to yourself, and make sure that you are good to others. Okay? All right, I will see you all in the next one. Until then, take care. Bye.